Well, hello there. Today we're going to try something a little different. This episode is going to be a double header, and what that means is we're going to look at two different movies by the same director, and they are crazy. We're going to end up spending a little less time on each one of the titles than we normally would, but trust me, this is going to be interesting. Now, on with the show. Greetings, friends, and welcome back to the 3-Minute Horror Show. My name is Ben, your host, and I love horror movies. In fact, I watch the bad movies so that you don't have to. You're welcome. Today I'll be reviewing two movies, Bikini Guillotine from 2025 and Robot Girlfriend Revenge, also from 2025. Bikini Guillotine is about a weird guy who uses psychic suggestion and some sort of circular weapon to stalk women at a bikini party. Robot Girlfriend Revenge is about a robot girlfriend that gets revenge. Both movies were written and directed by Jamie Grefe, who describes himself as a director, producer, screenwriter, and consultant, who summons narratives of twisted suspense, horror, and poetic sensuality. That's from his self-written IMDb. He directed nearly 50 movies in 2025 alone. That's almost one movie per week.
What?
He also appears to have written the novelization of Tim Heidecker and Greg Turkington's Decker movie, which is so weird. Both movies are streaming on Troma now, and Robot Girlfriend Revenge is also streaming on Fossum TV. First up is Bikini Guillotine. A handful of women are having a pool party. They all pile outside, talk a little bit about partying, and then an emergency vehicle horn sounds from somewhere in the area. Now they are inside, arguing with a guy that I figure must own the house that they're partying at. That guy is accosted by a disguised figure after the argument, and we never hear from him again. Then the ladies pile outside again and have the same conversation about partying. Deja vu? No, they reshot the scene from before that was ruined by the emergency vehicle siren. A take is ruined and it's left in the final cut. This happens at least 3 times during this movie. I absolutely could not tell you what is happening in the outdoor pool party scenes. The dialogue sounds like it's taking place a mile away. You can very clearly hear the wind gusting and the highway traffic going by, but you can't hear them talking at all. There's also a scene where you can see a second cameraman filming another angle of the scene in the shot with his phone. How does one man write and direct nearly 50 movies in 1 year? Honestly, I'd bet that generative AI has something to do with it.
Yes.
I am 90% sure that the posters for most of his movies were made using generative AI. Here are a few of them. Many of the titles of his films all play on the same words as well. We have Amityville La Lorna,
Boo!
Blood of La Lorna,
Boo!
Chupacabra vs. La Lorna,
Boo!
La Lorna Kama Sutra,
Boo!
Kama Sutra Cowgirl,
Boo!
Bad Girls School,
Boo!
Bad Girls Sunday School,
Boo!
Bad Girls Go Home,
Boo!
as well as several Bigfoot and Sasquatch movies. Is it possible that he used ChatGPT to come up with these titles and concepts? I'd put a wager down on it. If you're watching this video and you have any insight into Jamie Grefe's process, contact me. I'd love to hear about it. A woman walks back into the house. Some shots she's in slow motion, or her voice is slowed down for some reason. Hello? And then it goes back to normal. Soon she encounters a man wearing a mask that seems to be cut in places and repaired with electrical tape. The tape may just be there for aesthetics, but who knows. The area above his lip is cut away, revealing just enough of the man's mustache to resemble the facial hair of a certain German tyrant from history. He wields a circle frisbee coated in duct tape with rubber bait nightcrawlers hanging from it. This killer seems to use energy to control the women, then waves his tool around them until they die. I'm not sure that they're dead though, there's no blood or anything. And after each kill scene, all of the women are magically back outside partying again. Then another woman walks into the house to be stalked. This continues until there are none left. What a disaster. This movie was straight up not finished, and I'm baffled that it ended up on a streaming service. I guess we know how one guy can make 50 movies in a year, by not properly editing them.
Damn, son.
After watching those clips, I hope you don't feel as gross as I did watching the whole thing. I rate Bikini Guillotine a 1 out of 10. Next up, Robot Girlfriend Revenge. A young woman sits on a sofa doing nothing while a camera moves around her, sometimes in slow motion, other times not. Eventually a guy comes in and starts talking at her like she's an experiment. This man is director Jamie Grefe. He puts his hand behind her head and pantomimes pushing buttons on some sort of keyboard back there, letting us in on the fact that she's the new model robot girlfriend. He's running a test on her new upgrades. He puts her into a closet for a little while, and then we get a drawn-out scene of her sweeping the floor. This robot sweeps the floor several times throughout the story, and there's never any dirt on the floor at all when she does. Shortly after the sweeping, the robot girlfriend, whose name is Now, goes into the kitchen and plays with knives for a bit. This dude is like, "Oh, that's weird. I guess we better fix your programming so you don't want to play with knives." He gets her to complete more tasks, and then touches her creepily. He's not outright groping her, but it still feels uncomfortable. Now plays with the knives again, and this time the guy has to shut her down to get her to stop. He goofs around with the back of her neck a bit, and she goes back to the closet. The camera shots in both movies are just leering enough to be creepy, but not downright exploitative. There's no nudity or gore in either movie, but somehow I still wonder if this is fetish content. Sometimes things just don't pass the sniff test, and this one is pretty stinky, if you know what I'm saying. If you have some sort of insight into which communities these two movies are serving, please let me know in the comments, but don't be gross. The two have a conversation to test out the robot's speech and cognitive features. He asks her some easy questions, and then asks her what her favorite emotion is.
My favorite emotion is happiness.
If anyone were to have a favorite emotion other than happiness, I'd be shocked. You can also hear Grefe whispering directions to the actress that plays the robot in this scene.
How does that make you feel? Look at the smile.
After this conversation, they go outside, and you can see via his reflection in the window that Grefe is filming this using his phone. This explains the outdoor audio issues in both movies. He's filming his movies with a phone and no additional microphones. Eventually, he decides that he wants to have some adult fun with his robot, but don't worry, it doesn't show anything. They also mess up a shot. Grefe says, "Wait a minute, this sucks," and then they start over.
This sucks. Hold on.
They keep that in. Eventually, the robot stabs his character to death with a blunt, plastic, 3D printed hunting knife. There's an attempt at a meta twist at the end of this movie, but I wonder how many people stuck around long enough to see it. This was definitely not good and full of sloppy errors that were just plain left in the final cut. This movie had a cast of 2, a crew of 1, but it was still hastily packaged up and thrown onto streaming services. But it was not as shoddily made as Bikini Guillotine. I rate Robot Girlfriend Revenge a 3 out of 10. Well, I hope you all liked the Jamie Grefe doubleheader. If you want to see something like this again, let me know in the comments below. As always, a link to my Letterboxd appears in the video's description. Please leave me a like, comment, and subscribe, as it really does boost my engagement, helps my channel grow. Smell you later, nerds! I'm not doing a movie sound clip to end this one, so you just get me. Yes, I know my lighting is a bit messed up. Don't roast me too hard. See you in the next one!